You know, when you're at your favorite coffee shop with your bestie and you are both commiserating about how you just don't feel like there are enough hours in the day for you to get done what you need to do. And then the conversation inevitably leads to how you are feeling, how little energy you have. Maybe a joke here and there about quick fixes like the mocha latte in your hand is what really keeps you going. But at the root of your banter is this question deep down inside. How do I prioritize myself, my wellness? If you have ever felt that way, if you've ever had a conversation like this, if you have ever wondered, how do I prioritize my own wellness? You are going to enjoy today's conversation with my friend Michelle. We address this important internal question and give tangible and practical ways that you, as a busy woman juggling all the things in life and work, can prioritize your wellness. So let this be permission to pour into yourself right now. Health is our greatest resource in this world, and God desires us to be in good health. 3 John 2. So the time spent investing into you and into your wellness now will pay dividends later. Be proactive now, right? So you don't need to be reactive later. So settle in with your favorite iced herbal tea or pop those headphones in as you are walking and listening. You will be encouraged and motivated by the end. Hi there, I'm Michelle, your functional holistic health coach who takes a biblical approach to your wellness. Body, mind, and spirit. I am so glad you are joining me today. Before we dive in, if it feels like your life is slipping away, stolen by months, maybe even years of consistent low energy, brain fog, and exhaustion that just won't quit, it is time for you to prioritize your wellness. You do not have to stay in this fatigue cycle, trust me. So join me for a Fatigue Freedom Breakthrough Call to uncover what's draining you, address what's been overlooked or dismissed, and create a personalized plan to feel more like yourself in just days. Yes, it is true. So go to treasuredwellness.com/contact to book your call or grab the link in the show notes below. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Treasured Wellness Podcast, where we are talking about all things wellness for the body, mind, and spirit. I am so happy to bring my good friend Michelle on today to help us with the big T word, time, capital Time, right? So let me tell you all about Michelle. She is a Christian, a wife, a girl mom, a boy mom, a gym rat, podcaster, coffee enthusiast, health coach, extrovert, and lover of people. She is also the host of a podcast called The Busy Vibrant Mom, and that is in the 2% ranked podcast for Christian working moms. It's fabulous. Be sure to check that out and subscribe to that. She provides working moms with the tools that they need so they can have more time, right? How many of us are asking for more time in our day? And in their week also to pour into their kiddos, right? And in their families, their marriages too. It's so important. So she does that through helping them through productivity hacks, time blocking, organizational systems, all of these time management tools that, we might not want to talk about or think about, but it's really, really important and effective to help us. And so her desire is to help working moms to trade the overwhelm, the busyness, the stress of trying to juggle and balance everything for more time. And she believes that God has given each of us unique gifts, and to use these gifts He has specifically designed us with, we need to get off the hamster wheel. Yes, I agree. We need to find the time to pour into their kids, their marriage, and themselves. Yes, I could not agree more. And I am so happy to chat with you today, Michelle. Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, well, so we have been friends for a few years now, and we have been so blessed to be able to meet in person a few times for dinner when Michelle comes to North Carolina. And you have that amazing podcast I talked about, The Busy Vibrant Mom. So I know you, but share with our listeners who you are and what are you treasuring in this season of life right now?
Oh, such a great question. Oh, let's see. So I am treasuring time with my kiddos. I feel like they are growing up way too fast.
Mm.
Our oldest is 15, so she's going to learn to drive soon. And then we have two boys, uh, 13 and 11. And so I just am treasuring the time that they actually want to hang out and spend time with us.
Yeah.
Treasuring the time, I think the summers, we realized, oh my gosh, there's only a few summers, and then Ashley's going to be headed to college, and like just the realization that your time is kind of fleeting with them. Not that they'd go away after they go to college, but that it's just different. So that's what I'm treasuring is just time with them. They like going to Starbucks. So we like go pay a lot of money at Starbucks, but that's where they love to go. So we can get them to go and hang out and talk to us. So all the things. But yeah, I started my podcast because I really wanted to help busy moms. I realized that living in California and the Bay Area, a lot of moms were taking on jobs after their kids went to school. And so then they were having just trouble balancing it all, balancing home, balancing a career, balancing taking care of the family and the kids and all the stuff. So I just found that that was my gift is time management, kind of organization. So I just wanted to help other moms and be able to use different tools that they might not have thought of.
Yeah, I think that's really key because so many of us, like myself included, keep it all up here. Like we keep it all up in our brain, right? And then a plate drops or a ball drops or something drops because inevitably it will drop. Something will drop. So let's jump into it. And obviously, you have gone through this yourself so that you've been able to help other moms, other women with this very real problem that we have of trying to manage our time, right? So explain, let's jump right into time blocking specifically, okay? Because I love my planner. I have an amazing planner. Let me just give a planner plug. It's the Redeem Her Time Planner, Lissa Figgins. And so go to redeemhertime.com and it's amazing. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. And I love it. But there's a lot that I still get a little overwhelmed with when it comes to blocking out my time. So, how can time blocking specifically help busy women that are juggling work and a family fit in their wellness, their I don't even want to say me time because it's vital that we block this time out to set for ourselves for health and wellness. But if their schedule's already packed, they're already overwhelmed, they're already kind of overworked, they might think it's one more thing to do, right? So explain what is time blocking and how can it help busy women to fit wellness into their day.
Such a great question. So, time blocking is just the idea of blocking out time in your day or taking your 24-hour day and making it into smaller chunks. And so instead of thinking, oh, I have all day to get this done, or I have all day to do these things, which then leads to the idea of like, oh, I have a ton of time. It's fine. And you usually procrastinate and then don't get things done as quickly, or the things that you needed to get done don't end up getting done. So the idea of time blocking or the way that it is a tool is just to block out those times in your day. So usually you'll have like 4 to 5 blocks in your day. Probably you have a morning block when you first get up. Um, like, so my morning block is from the time I wake up until the time kids go to school. That's kind of my morning routine block. And then after that, I have a small little block of getting ready for work, doing kind of a devotional time. And then I jump into my work block. And that lasts until I need to go pick up kids. And then I kind of have an afternoon block, which is, for you who don't have kids, there might be one thing that kind of triggers that like afternoon block. Maybe it's just lunchtime to kind of evening. Then you have an evening block, which is more of your like dinner, downtime, bedtime routine, that kind of thing. So your day is kind of structured in those blocks. And then what you can do is you can say, okay, these are the things that need to get done. When are they going to get done? And you kind of can piece together when things are going to get done. Like, when are you going to do laundry? When are you making dinner? When are you getting ready for the day? And through that, you can also figure out, okay, when am I going to work out? When am I going to go take a walk? When is it the best time to do that? So, in that way of kind of mapping out your day, and sometimes it helps to do it visually, to just map out your day, you can see where those pieces are that you want to sprinkle in some health and some time to get outside and exercise.
Yeah, because I know a lot of women, they one of a big complaint that they have when they come into my program is I try to block it out and somebody schedules a meeting. And somebody scheduled a meeting during my lunch break or whatever. And they feel like they maybe can't officially block out that time on their calendar that everybody sees. So I don't know if you can speak to that, but it's really vital to have. I love how you've got the morning, the midday, like the PM, like different, that kind of really correlates too with my morning time and the midday reset time where you're just taking five, right? You're just taking 5 minutes to reset, regroup, get away from the computer, get away from the fluorescent lights. So I think that's awesome. Let's talk about specifics though. Let's get really nitty gritty here with the tangible and the practical. So give us some practical tips to start this time blocking, because this makes such great sense in theory. But help us to do it effectively for that woman that's working a 9 to 5, or if she's caring for aging parents, grandkids potentially, when life is feeling really unpredictable and so full, not with bad things, with good things, but it's just full. And again, wellness tends to be pushed to the back burner. So let's get real practical with that.
As what wellness always does, right? Because it feels like it's the last on the plate. It
Yeah.
feels like, oh, if I have time, I'll go for a walk. But you're not realizing that oftentimes that walk can re-energize you to think and maybe figure out a problem at work that's a little easier. Or maybe that energizes you in the afternoon when you're kind of hit a low or a slump. So we do want to make sure that we're prioritizing that wellness and like some kind of energy. So the idea is, okay, so where do we sprinkle it into our day, like practically, if we have practical time period? So I think I would say if you have an 8 to 5 job, if you have time during lunch or sometime that you want to go take a walk, I would schedule a meeting with yourself during that time, block out that time on your calendar. And maybe it's, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you block that time out to take a walk. And the other days you're available at lunchtime for people to connect with you. But if you feel that that's too much, then you know that between your 8 to 5, you can't slot in going for a walk and getting some exercise. So then your options are either to do it before or to do it after. So you have to figure out, does that work for you to do it? Get up, go for a walk, then go take a shower, then head to work? Or does that work better for you to do it after work? Maybe you want to come home, drop everything, change clothes, and just go for a nice walk after work to just decompress and take a minute. So just figure out what works best for you as a person, which one you like. Now, if you have, let's say, aging parents, or you are watching grandkids, or you have some other random timepiece, let's say, I would take a minute to kind of map out your day. Take a piece of paper and just write down what you're doing every hour, every 15 minutes, that kind of thing. And once you find natural transitions in your day, those are going to be kind of your time blocks. So maybe you have a natural transition after you get ready in the morning and eat breakfast, then you go over to take care of grandkids, or you go and take care of aging parents. So figure out kind of what those transition periods are, and those are kind of your blocks. And then you want to figure out which blocks do I need to be with someone like kids or grandparent or something, and which blocks am I by myself? and then kind of sprinkle in if there's something you want to do in those. Or maybe you are able to sprinkle it in when you're also with kids. Like you take the kids to the park and you walk circles around the park while the kids are playing, or you do some calisthenics or some other workout stuff, or you meet a friend afterwards and you both go for a walk. So just think about how you can kind of sprinkle in that exercise and movement. But the key to keeping it consistent, or the key would be to keep it consistent, and that will help you stay with it. So like just stay with it. Like every Tuesday we take a walk at this time, or every Wednesday I go to lunch and take a walk. So the more consistent you can be with it, the more it will kind of build into a habit, and then you'll naturally make space for it.
And you'll look forward to it. I mean, I really, you will look forward to that time because, you are juggling balls and putting out fires and answering calls and running calls all day long and, staring at the computer screen all day long. It's just like you want to be able to fill yourself a little bit, right? Fill that bucket. If our bucket is empty and all we are putting in is a drip and a drop, then we're not pouring anything out. There's nothing we have for those that we love and for the job that we probably really enjoy doing or anything that God has called us to do, right? So it is important to block this time out for our wellness. And I love that you just made that so practical. And I love that you talked about the natural transitions because often what is our go-to? What is like the number one go-to when we have a moment, right? It's the phone. It's
Yes,
scrolling.
oftentimes.
Often it is, right? I mean, it's just become like an appendage. And I'm just, really encouraging, everybody who's listening to this to really be aware of how often you are going to that phone when you have this downtime or this transition time. Honestly, it is it's doing so much. We could talk a whole other, time on that itself because it's not healthy. But like think about it. If you go to when you go to the restroom, right? Like take a few extra minutes that you would normally be scrolling if you took your phone with you. Leave your phone on your desk and go and do a few squats. Go peek out the back door and just breathe fresh air. Like just do something that is going to fill your tank so that you have more to pour out in the afternoon or as that day goes on. So I love that. I really think too that this is an issue of giving ourselves permission, wouldn't you say, Michelle, to really,
Definitely.
yeah, give ourselves permission to pour into ourselves, to prioritize our well being, right? It's self-care is not selfish. I firmly believe it is biblical. Jesus modeled this. He went away with the Father. He prayed. He was alone. He was not like he knew his limits. He wouldn't be like, constantly letting everybody pull on him. He did that and then he would refill with the Father. So it's really important to, just learn from our Lord how to prioritize that for sure. So how can women that are busy juggling all the things stay motivated and give themselves permission to prioritize their well-being, even when that to-do list, it just feels like it's endless?
I know we've talked about some ways, just that you're motivated is just the fact of you feel so much better after you do it. You feel lighter. Your head is lighter. You're able to think clearer because you've given your brain that space that it often needs. I know I'm a much better person after I work out in the morning. If I go and I am the one who wakes myself up by working out, I'm then I can move into the rest of my day. I'm already awake. I'm moving. My brain's moving. I'm thinking about things. And so I just enjoy kind of being ahead of the game when I wake up and like not having my kids come over and yell and wake me up and an alarm clock go off. And so I think knowing, okay, how do I feel after this is a huge motivator to have you keep going with it. I think prioritizing it is huge because, as you said, you just need to find a way. It is important to you to fit it into your schedule. It doesn't have to be really big jumps. You don't have to say, I'm going to go join a gym. I'm going to go join this workout class. I'm going to go do these things every day, 5 days a week, going to this place. It can be small little steps of, as you said, go outside, put your head outside, go walk to the mailbox, go take a deep breath, go smell some flowers, go take a little walk. So all those things can be small little steps. And just to check in with yourself, are you enjoying it? Is that working for you? Do you want a big block where you go to the gym? What works best for you and kind of your natural rhythm, where you are in life, what you're doing, that kind of thing. So I think just sprinkling it into our day, not having high expectations of this is going to be what happens, right? I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to lift like this much weight. But just being gentle with yourself as you're transitioning, I think is huge. And just give yourself grace. And if you miss one day, I've heard it said, if you miss one day, that's fine, but don't let yourself miss two.
Yeah.
So then
Yeah.
you can keep it as a habit. Just don't miss 2 days.
I like that practicality of it because so often we want to jump in with both feet and do all the things, and then we don't even last 7 days because it's too much, it's overwhelming. And this is why I'm so against diet mentality. We do not do diet mentality, in the program because it doesn't work, number one, and it's very overwhelming and deprivating, and it just makes us feel bad. I mean, it just does. At the end of the day, we just don't feel good about how we handled it or how we did this or executed or whatever. And so we got to keep it simple. I love the intuitiveness of it. Listen to your body. And, my women in the program, they're coming to me with exhaustion and they're like, I'm working out so hard. And I'm like, okay, we're going to slow that down. We're going to like really take a big step back. And it's a mindset that they have to wrap their heads around because they've always done it and they've pushed even harder because they feel like that's what they need to do. But sometimes less is more, and it's really important we listen to our body. So, yeah, did I enjoy that? Should I keep doing it? How did I feel emotionally after I did that? Like how did I sleep? Did I sleep better? Um, am I nicer to my husband? Like all of these things, right? Because again, when our tank is empty, when our bucket is dry, we just don't have enough to pour in. And it's that expression I gave at the office, right? Like we give the best of ourselves during our 8 to 5, our 9 to 5. And that's not how it should be, to be honest. And then we get the leftovers as well. Like our family gets the leftovers and then we get the leftovers because like you said, it just feels like it's something else that we have to do and we don't have time for it in our brain. So you've really shown us that we really do have time and that it really is a priority that we take the time. I mean, I would say that we want to invest in this time for our wellness and be proactive now so that we don't have to be reactive later. And it's going to cost more from us by not gently listening to our body and not taking the time to block out this intentional time for wellness. And we were talking more about physical activity, but the same is true for rest, self-care, eating well, all of these things that are just going to continue to fuel you and help you. So thank you so much, Michelle, for this. They're simple, they're doable, they're tangible. And, ladies, like start today because this can really just start with one thing that she said that really stood out to you, and just build that into your day and over time make it your healthy routine, your healthy habit. So yeah, this was really helpful. Before we go, would you leave our listeners with some encouragement? Give them a treasured truth.
Treasured truth. Let's see. I was going to say rest. I loved what you said about rest, that it is so important to build that in as well. That's a whole different topic. I mean, there's
Yeah.
all different ways that you rest, not just physically,
Yeah.
but like mentally. rest. I find that I get overwhelmed with, I love to listen to podcasts and I love to listen to things, and I'm working and I'm doing stuff. So oftentimes I am inputting way too much into my brain, whether it's podcasts or YouTube or answering stuff or emails. I'm just find that I'm overwhelmed and overloaded. And so oftentimes I'm like, oh, and now I'm starting to recognize what that feels like and know, oh, I need to step back, or I need to just have silence or just sit. I think that's a huge thing of just rest, knowing that you have too much, because our world just has so much. There's so many decisions we're now making. We're bombarded by stuff all the time. It's just a constant that we don't really feel until it's like too much.
I love it. I call that sensory fatigue.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's definitely what it is.
Yeah, and it is. It's very overwhelming. And once you become intuitive to how your body, the cues it's telling you, you can start picking it up right away. And it's like, okay, like even like if you've been on your phone too much, like you might feel it in your hands, right? I mean, it's crazy. That's a whole other EMF conversation.
Whole new
But
topic.
But yeah, it's really important that we recognize that we need to pull back for rest. So I think that's awesome. Yeah, this has been good. Michelle, how can our listeners find you?
Oh, you're so sweet. They can find me on my website or my podcast. The podcast is called The Busy Vibrant Mom, and I leave tons of tips and tricks, all kinds of stuff, things to get you ready for the next season, things to get you ready for summer or for fall when kids are going to go back to school, that kind of thing. So all kinds of tips and tricks to help you kind of manage your day and your time. And then my website that you can find me at is just www.byrd, B-Y-R-D, MICHELLE.com. It's all one word, and you can find everything there.
Awesome. Thanks for coming on Treasured Wellness and sharing your experience and our expertise with us on all things time management. I appreciate that so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thanks for having me.
Okay, friend, do you feel encouraged and motivated now to prioritize your wellness? I pray this episode helped you to see how important and vital it is to rest, to be in tune with your body and what it's telling you, and to proactively block this time for you to then start to feel better. And if you're saying it's time right now for me to get off this fatigue cycle, click the link in the show notes for your Fatigue Freedom Breakthrough Call. Let's uncover what is draining you, address what's been overlooked or dismissed, and get you feeling more like yourself. So go to treasuredwellness.com/contact to book your call, or just simply grab the link in the show notes. Remember, you are a beautiful treasure. Your body is a temple, so treasure your wellness.